Okay, graphics. We're gonna go start the snowman project, and so what you're gonna do is go to on Canvas, go to the section that has snowman, download the file, and you should be able to open up the same file that you're looking at with me. Um, Several things we're gonna start with. Most of you, this is the first time you open up Illustrator. I kind of want to get familiarized yourself, be familiar with the left side of the bar, which is this panel right over here. If you notice, I'm hovering over the pen tool. The shortcut's P. You're going to love the pen tool, and you'll need to love this little direct selection tool. Those two are the ones we're going to use for the most part today. The selection tool here is to move objects. This one is to click on the lines that we want to change, and obviously the pen is to draw. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hit Command plus to zoom in. And then right now we're zoomed in a lot. I need to scroll up. So the quick shortcut is to hit the space bar, which the little hand pops up, then click and drag. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this pom-pom first. Again, we're going to draw this guy into sections, in pieces, and assemble them. Okay, if you notice, it goes in 1, 2, 3, 4 order. When you're learning, you kind of want to get an idea of what you're doing. So what we're going to do is take the pen tool or hit P. And if you notice, I'm going to go this direction. So I'm going to click right on this little anchor point. If you zoom in, if I zoom in here, you can see that's where I want to click. And I want to hold my mouse down. I'm going to click and drag it all the way to here. So if I click and drag it to here, if you notice the right one doesn't go all the way, that's fine. Okay, I let go of my mouse. I'm going to do Command minus is a zoom out. While my pen's still selected, I'm going to go down to 2. And again, since it has these little handlebars, I'm going to drag, click and drag. There it goes. Go here, click. I'm going to drag it out. 4, click and drag. If I let go, these handlebars do not pop up. So if I click before I start dragging, it won't work. So I'm going to click and drag. And if you notice, now it pops up to actually meet in the right spot. So now what do? I've got my pen tool selected. If I want, I can just hit V for Victor, and it goes right to that pen, that move tool. Okay, that's where I like to be just whenever I'm not doing anything. Okay, so I'm going to move this around. I've got my space bar clicked. I'm going to click and drag right to here. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so now the hat part, if you notice, it doesn't have the handlebars. Okay, so again, P or pen tool. If it doesn't have handlebars, you just click. I clicked. I'm not dragging. I don't have my pen selected right at the moment, so I'm just clicking. And number 2, I'm going to click and drag. Think about number 3. There's no dragging, so just click. Number 4, click. Number 5, click and drag. And number 6, click. Or back to 1. Okay? Pretty simple to do. Okay, after we're going to go through these, I'm going to go ahead and do a harder one. For example, on the nose. I'm going to start, obviously, do exactly what we've been doing. Click on the 1, the 2. Notice the 3 doesn't have it. We're going to go up. Doesn't have, or after the 3, we have a 4 right here. If you notice, if I just click like it says, it goes the wrong direction. That's completely fine. Okay, what I'm going to do I'm holding down Option. Okay, I held down Option. The reason I held down Option, what it did is it broke this handlebar. So I'm going to undo that. And if I don't do this, so if I hold down Option, you see that little handle, the little angle comes up. That means I can break it apart. If I was to go to my direct selection tool at the moment and started doing this, if you notice, it affects this part. I want to break it apart by holding down Option. Now I've got that. And if you notice, I do need a handlebar here. Okay, I'm going to go back. I need a handlebar on this anchor, so I'm going to click off. Click on that anchor point right there. Now it's blue. If you notice, it is blue here. This one's white. That means I have the blue one selected. Right up here is called Convert Anchor Points to Smooth. I'm going to go ahead and click it. Now these little handlebars pulled up. And now I can go in and correctly align this one. This is one you're going to have to make it look by tweaking it. Make it look perfect by tweaking it. Command minus is to zoom out. Now I've got my, and I don't close this one, I leave this one open. Now I've got my nose. Another hard one is this one. The reason I say it's hard is because you're going to cover things up. The main thing is you got to worry about number 6. And we're going to get into a, we won't be able to see it, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and get my pen tool, do exactly what we've been doing. Go 1, 2 and drag, 3 and drag, 4 and drag, 5, no drag. Now if you notice, 6 is gone because by default you have a white fill. Okay, so it's actually filling right past here. You can see it covering up the word. So on the 6th one, I'm just going to guess in here and just click, and I'm going to go down and close it up. Now obviously that's wrong. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click the selection tool. I'm going to click off of it, click back on. Right up here where it says opacity, some people call it opacity. Opacity is right here. I'm going to bring it down just to 50% or so. Now you can see the design behind you. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go back to my direct selection tool. Again, I need to, right now, if you notice, all of these anchor points are blue. That means all selected. I don't want them all selected. I want only this point so I can move it to here. So I'm going to go click on just the one and drag it right up here. Now, while it's selected, just like before, I'm going to click this little smooth anchor point. Now, hopefully you can see what we're going to do. We're going to pull that here and that here. Go back to your black selection tool, click off, then back on, change it back to 100. That should get you most of them done. Okay, again, to change directions, you hold down Option on the handle on this, or again on this nose. The last thing I want to do is this iris. If you notice, it says use the ellipse tool. The ellipse tool is right underneath the rectangle tool. I'm going to click and hold. There's my ellipse tool. As I do this, I'm just going to click on my screen. I didn't click and drag, I just clicked. Okay. And then we're going to go width 0.75, height is 1, hit OK. I'm going to move it up here just so we can see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop this video just because I'm running out of time. I'm going to go ahead and make a part 2.